In modulation, we superimpose high frequency carrier wave and the low frequency signal waves. Why we are doing it? Today we are going to discuss in the topic of the need of modulation. Among that, the first need is the practical length of antenna. Practical length of antenna means how much length of antenna practically is feasible. We know that length of antenna is given by 1 by 4th the wavelength of the waves that we are using. Here, wavelength is also equal to velocity of light over frequency. C is the velocity of light and here nu is the frequency. So let us take frequency of 10 kilohertz. Now the length of antenna required, we can put the values. Velocity of light 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Frequency we are taking 10 kilohertz and the value comes out to be 7.5 kilometer. So it is not possible to install the antenna of this much high length. On the other hand, if we are taking frequency, say 1 megahertz, now putting the values 3 into 10 power 8, 1 into 10 power 6, and the value comes out to be 75 meter. So employing the high frequency carrier wave for sending the signals, with that we require the less length of antenna that is practically possible. So there is need of modulation. The next point is effective power of radiation of antenna. Let P is the power of antenna. It is directly proportional to the length and inversely proportional to the wavelength by square. Now we know this lambda is equal to C by nu, where lambda is the wavelength, C is the velocity of light, and nu is the frequency. Putting these values, we have if we keep length constant, then P is proportional to nu square since velocity of light is also constant. For same length of antenna, the frequency that are having the value high will be radiating power to the larger distances as compared to the frequencies of low. So that is why we need the modulation in which we use high frequency wave to radiate more, as power of antenna radiation increases with frequency. We can see for that same length, if frequency is less, this power of radiation will be less. So that is why the modulation is required. Now, the third point of the need of modulation is to avoid the confusion at the reception end. Actually, what happens? when the audio signals are being sent, the range for that is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. This range is very limited. When different stations are sending their signals at this range, then at the reception there will be overlapping and there are the chances of confusion. To avoid it, each station is provided with a frequency band of the carrier wave, and there this problem can be sorted out. So there is a need of carrier wave to be there, and the need of modulation is required. We go through the words for that. The third point is, for the need of modulation, is to avoid overlapping of the signals. Audio signals have frequency range of 20 to 20 kilohertz. This is a very limited one. Hence, audio signals from different transmitting radio or TV stations would get overlap and confuse. We need to avoid this situation. To avoid it, different transmitting stations are given, allotted a band of frequencies of the carrier wave of the each station. So this is the requirement of the carrier wave for individually having the band frequencies for the signals that are to be sent. So this is why we need the modulation.